Mrs. Claus here. Nice to see everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Today, I have a story that takes place in a land where people like to drink tea. One day, a gentleman was invited over to a friend's house to enjoy a cup of tea. He gladly went, and he was greeted, and he came in, and he sat down on a specific chair, and he was handed a cup of tea. He couldn't wait to enjoy it. And he looked down in the cup, and much to his surprise, he saw a tiny snake coiled up at the bottom of the cup. Well, he didn't want to be rude to his hostess, so he grabbed the cup and he drank the whole thing down with one gulp. He didn't feel anything strange. Oh, okay. It went down. He didn't feel anything in his stomach. Okay, it must be okay. So he enjoyed the rest of the afternoon with his hostess, and then he went home that night. And suddenly, his stomach began to hurt. He had terrible pains in his stomach. He was very disconcerted about this. And the next day he went to a doctor because the pains had gotten worse. And the doctor couldn't find anything wrong. And this went on for days and days and days. And he went to one doctor after another because the pains in his stomach had gotten worse. They weren't going away, and they were starting to spread to other parts of his body. He was terrified. He thought he was going to die. And when his friend heard about his horrible plight, she invited him over again for another cup of tea. Well, that's what people do. They drink tea. So he again went to her home, and he went and he sat in the same exact chair that he had sat in before. And she handed him a lovely cup of tea. It smelled wonderful. And he took the cup and he looked into it. Oh. And there it was again. He saw the little tiny snake coiled up in the bottom of the cup. Well, he couldn't go without saying something. So he explained to his hostess that there was a little tiny snake in the bottom of his cup, and that it was the same snake that was in the bottom of his cup the last time he came, and she gave him some tea. Well, she looked at him, and then she looked up at the ceiling, and she pointed to the rafter that was right above him. And on that rafter hung a rope that had coiled. And the man looked up and he saw that. And then he realized that the only thing that he was seeing in the bottom of his cup was the reflection of that rope. He looked at his hostess, and she looked at him, and they started laughing, and they laughed, and they laughed, and suddenly all of his pain went away. His stomach didn't hurt anymore. He had been cured. And he lived happily ever after, drinking tea. Now, I know we can get things in our head and turn things into things that they're not. We have to try not to, because it can take us over. And with that, we hope you're all feeling well. You're all feeling healthy. And until tomorrow, have a good day. And we'll see you then. Bye-bye.